Here's a wild little known fact. When you faint, it's not a failure. It's actually your brain's way of saving your life. Yep, passing out isn't your body betraying you. It's your brain yelling, "System overload, shut it all down before we fry the circuits." Think of it as your body's emergency power-saving mode. But what exactly is going on in that beautiful, wrinkly powerhouse inside your skull when you lose consciousness? Hello friends, and welcome to Brainwaves. Let's uncover the fascinating and frankly bizarre mechanics behind this brain-body drama. What is unconsciousness? Before we dig into the science, let's define unconsciousness. Losing consciousness means losing awareness of yourself and your surroundings. It's like your brain temporarily logs you out. This can range from fainting, which usually lasts seconds to minutes, to more serious states like comas. But fainting, or syncope, to use its fancy medical name, is the most common type. It happens when your brain isn't getting enough oxygen or nutrients, so it decides to take a quick nap to deal with the crisis. Why does this matter to your overall health? Unconsciousness isn't just a weird quirk of biology. It's a vital survival mechanism. Without it, your body wouldn't be able to protect your brain from damage in situations like extreme blood pressure drops or oxygen deprivation. Think of it like a fail-safe button for your brain, preventing further harm by forcing you to hit the ground and let gravity do its job, getting blood back to your brain. The mechanics of fainting: blood flow, oxygen, and neurons. Let's break this down step by step. Your brain is a diva. It demands a constant, generous supply of oxygen and nutrients via blood flow. If your brain doesn't get what it needs, even for a few seconds, it starts shutting down non-essential functions. This is why fainting happens so quickly. The brain is prioritizing survival over, say, keeping you upright. Example: imagine you're in a crowded subway. It's sweltering and you haven't eaten. Blood pressure drops, blood flow to your brain slows, and suddenly, lights out. Your body literally drops you like a load of potatoes to fix the problem. 2. Oxygen levels and neurons. Your neurons, the tiny cells that transmit information in your brain, are extremely sensitive to oxygen levels. Even a brief dip in oxygen can cause them to go haywire. When oxygen supply drops, your brain puts everything on pause to conserve energy, kind of like putting your phone on low power mode. 3. Electrical activity in the brain. During unconsciousness, brain activity changes drastically. In fainting, for instance, electrical signals between different parts of your brain slow down or stop altogether. This is why you lose awareness and can't remember what happened. Common misconceptions about fainting. Misconception number 1. Fainting is always dangerous. Not true. Fainting is often harmless. Triggered by things like standing too long, dehydration, or emotional shock. Hello, dramatic movie fainting scenes. That said, repeated or unexplained fainting could signal underlying medical conditions, so don't ignore it entirely. Misconception number 2. Fainting means you're weak. False again. Fainting isn't about weakness, it's about biology. Even the toughest bodybuilder can faint if their brain doesn't get enough oxygen. Misconception number 3. You can fight fainting. Good luck with that. If your brain decides to pull the plug, there's no arguing with it. It's best to lie down and let blood flow back to your brain. The brain's emergency protocols. Now that we've tackled the basics, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what happens in your brain during unconsciousness. 1. The role of the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system, ANS, is the body's autopilot. It manages your heart rate, breathing, blood pressure, and other functions you don't think about. During a fainting episode, your ANS goes into overdrive. Your sympathetic system, the fight or flight response, may initially kick in, causing your heart to race. Then, the parasympathetic system, rest and digest mode, takes over, slowing your heart rate and dropping blood pressure. This drop in blood pressure is what causes you to faint. Your brain is essentially saying, lie down so I can fix this. 2. Blood redistribution. When you faint, blood flow is redirected to protect vital organs. That's why you usually regain consciousness quickly after hitting the ground. Gravity helps blood return to your brain. Example: imagine your brain as the captain of a sinking ship. It shouts, "Abandon deck," and redirects resources to keep the engine room running, aka your heart and lungs. 3. Temporary shutdown of non-essential functions. Your brain isn't about wasting energy. During unconsciousness, it puts non-essential systems on hold, like muscle control and awareness, so it can focus on critical tasks like breathing and maintaining blood flow. There are countless reasons you might faint, but here are some of the most common. 1. Emotional stress. Ever heard of someone fainting at the sight of blood? That's the vagus nerve in action, causing your heart rate and blood pressure to drop. It's a classic C response. 2. Dehydration. Without enough fluids, your blood volume decreases, making it harder for your heart to pump blood to your brain. The result? Lights out. 3. Standing too long. Standing still for extended periods can cause blood to pool in your legs, reducing circulation to your brain. That's why soldiers sometimes faint during long ceremonies. 4. Heat. High temperatures dilate your blood vessels, lowering blood pressure and increasing the risk of fainting. 5. Medical conditions. Underlying issues like heart arrhythmias, low blood sugar, or anemia can also trigger fainting. How the brain protects itself. During fainting, your brain doesn't just shut down and hope for the best. It has a robust system in place to minimize damage and restore function quickly. 1. Gravity-assisted recovery. When you faint and hit the floor, blood flow to your brain improves almost instantly. That's why lying down with your legs elevated is the best first aid for someone who's fainted. 2. Energy conservation. Your brain goes into energy-saving mode, reducing activity in areas like memory and motor control, while keeping critical systems like breathing online. Number 3. The vagus nerve's role. The vagus nerve, part of the parasympathetic nervous system, plays a huge role in fainting. It's responsible for slowing your heart rate and dilating blood vessels, which can cause a fainting episode, but also prevents further damage. Knowing the signs of fainting can help you or others avoid injury. Falling onto a couch beats hitting a hard floor. Summary: key points about fainting and the brain. Let's wrap up what we've covered. What causes fainting? A drop in blood flow and oxygen to the brain. How the brain responds: by shutting down non-essential functions and conserving energy. Triggers: emotional stress, dehydration, standing too long, heat, or medical issues. The brain's fail-safes: gravity-assisted recovery, energy conservation, and the vagus nerve. The next time you, or someone else, faints, remember this. It's not a sign of weakness, and it's definitely not the brain giving up. It's actually your body being incredibly smart, pulling every lever to protect itself. Until next time, stay hydrated, stay cool, and if you feel faint, don't fight it. Find a comfy spot to land. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and get notified. And check out our other videos. See you in our next video.